why we left in the first place. Say we were young and we were so in love, and I guess we just needed space. Heard about this place. They call it the United States. We found out it really is for the lovers. Really so friendly.
And welcome to this week's episode of Ball Hawk Lab, the first and only video baseball podcast put on by Ball Hawks for Ball Hawks, inspired by those fellows over Tony's right-hand shoulder. Calling notes. Tony, what do we have on our dockets tonight? I know that we got some big news to talk about. There might be some news in the ball hockey world we can talk about.
Yes, I guess since we have ball hawk in the name, we can talk about ball hawking stuff. So the first thing that we'll talk about is an activity called the Ball Hawking Ultra Marathon. It combines competitive eating and ball hawking, so I think you guys are going to like it. And then we're going to talk about something that David and I did. Was yours also in this month?
What's that?
Was your catch also in this month? Was it in May?
Yeah, I don't know really how much of a catch I would call it. I would picking a ball up off the ground is kind of what under pressure. But yes, mine was in May.
All right. Well, then we will talk about our greatness that has been happening in May, and maybe David will kind of let us in on maybe some special balls that he's holding right now. And I don't mean the ones.
I do have a couple. I did get a couple special balls today. So I'll whip them out. We can all take a peek at them.
Ooh, yes.
Yep, right. Yeah.
Although,
right here, and for the whole stadium to see.
Are they in a sack?
They are currently in my sack. Yes.
Okay.
Tucked away.
So we'll start off with the Ball Hawking Ultra Marathon. I got this idea because there's a sports writer here in Minneapolis who today did eat 15 tacos, and he had talked about how he thought it'd be kind of cool for like a 5K or a 10K or even like a half marathon to eat a taco after every either kilometer or mile, depending on what type of race you did. So that had me thinking, why not eat something after you catch each baseball? So after ball number 1, you eat a hot dog. Ball number 2, bag of Cracker Jack. Ball number 3, bag of peanuts. Ball number 4, a souvenir soda. Ball number 5, get some fries. Want some fries with that? Good, you're going to get some. After number 6, you get some ice cream. You can cool down again. After number 7, you're going to get a corn dog. So that's going to feel nice, especially combining with the hot dog. Then for number 8, you're going to get a malt cup. Again, you need to cool down because you probably have the meat sweats at this point. Then number 9, one last hurrah, you're going to have a brat. Then at number 10, you're going to either have a lemonade or Italian ice, depending on which one you want. So if you get double digits, you probably will explode. But I think it would be a very interesting concept. And if someone does this and is crazy enough, we want to see footage.
Now, Tony, after you get the meat sweats, what comes after that?
I think you're supposed to beat your meat.
Okay. I didn't know, like, I mean, you can't beat the meat. Well, I mean, you can. Because you're not a big meat eater at all.
That's true.
So what are some things, because I know you had 3 meat products on there. Like, if you were going to do this, what would you substitute? Maybe a hot dog, a corn dog, and a broth with?
Well, that's the good news about Target Field. They have some vegan options for that. So I think for the most part, I could do it. It'd actually be the toughest part with the ice cream. But, you know, I could find something. I could find some other sweets that I could pound down.
I think a nice Italian ice would do. Or if, I don't know what the ingredients in Dippin' Dots. I mean, it is the ice cream of the future. I don't know if it has any dairy products at all. For as long as it's been around and it's been the ice cream of the future, I don't think it could have milk in it. Because it could, I don't know. But
I don't know.
It seems like a lot of people would have some intestinal issues if they were eating ice cream that was that old.
True.
So,
Yeah, that Italian ice would probably be, that would hit the spot, especially after the last one.
yeah, I mean, if you're someone like myself that does most of their ball retrieving during batting practice, that would be, I think, some vomit might come before you can get through all 10.
Yeah, that time constraint would really be something else. It'd also be tough because you don't want to catch one. Well, you couldn't really catch one until you're done with it. So that would be quite a pace if you could somehow get through all 10.
Or it might be like if you're trying to catch balls while you're running around with a hot dog in your hand.
That's true. Your hot dog or someone else's?
Preferably your own hot dog, because I get if you're holding onto someone else's hot dog while you're chasing a ball, it might be hard to pull them along with you.
Yeah, it might be hard.
It could be hard.
So if you were
Sorry,
doing,
Mrs. Admiri.
if you were doing this right now, where at on this lovely scale would you be at for today?
I would be I'd be finishing some ice cream I've got now.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I got 6 today. It's either 5 or 6. I'll have to go back and look at the number. I usually log my baseballs as I get them, so I don't really know what's top of my head. It's either 5 or 6, but it's, for everyone who wants to look on the site, that number is accurate. So
Nice. Is that your high right now at the new stadium, or what's your high?
this is the second time I've gotten 6, I believe. If it was 6, if I got 5 that time high. So Zach has the record. I think Zach's at 6. Maybe it might be 7. I don't remember what he had. So as always, going out to. I was really hoping we could break 2 stadium records in back-to-back days, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But yeah.
So
I was gonna say, where do you think that you'd hit a wall on that marathon?
honestly, actually, the toughest one would be the bag of peanuts. Not necessarily because you couldn't get it down, but it would take so much time to eat a bag of peanuts.
Yeah.
Am I nuts?
Maybe. They're a bit salty too. Did you get unsalted or salted?
Well, considering that the next one is a souvenir soda, I feel like you could probably do salt, but you'd really want to catch a ball right away after. Speaking of your 6 balls right now,
Yeah, I agree.
can we see any of your 6 balls? Maybe that special one.
Well, I got 2 special balls today.
Woo!
Here's number 1 and the 2. So we got 2 little. Thanking the Toronto Blue Jays for being in town and being a very great organization when it comes to actually using your commemorative baseballs in batting practice. I know it's one of the frustrating things here in Atlanta is that the Braves have had commemorative baseballs the last 2 years, but they've never used them in batting practice. A couple times last year, probably towards the end of the season, they did toss some of the Turner field balls into the old hopper out there, but it's kind of few and far between. They did put them in the BP cart during spring training, but it was a long time to wait for some of those. So hopefully, they might find a few into the old BP cart. But as of right now, just waiting on some other teams to come into town with their commemorative.
But you don't even have to worry about that because you've already got one of the new commemorative ones, and yours came during a game.
It did come off the bat of one Jay Bruce, nice left-handed batter from the New York Metropolitans. So nice first inning shot. Just sat down to charge my phone for a while and talk to one of my Usher friends, and really wasn't even paying attention till the ball was about to land, and it landed near me, and no one really reacted. Kind of just scampered on over there and picked it up.
Nice.
So, Tony, I heard you had a really charge last night at Target Field. Do you want to share the happenings and maybe top it off with a a nice little story of your. Yeah, it's just. I guess just tell us what happened.
Okay. Yeah, it was a crazy night, and I think I might later put a link to the podcast that was done, because that actually was foreshadowing for what happened at the game. But it was me, Dave Forstead, Alex, who is known as Everything Twins on Instagram, and a few other folks at the game. But mainly we were the Ball Hawks, and they said something about the game before that I went to. I got 11, which is close to the target field record of 13, but not quite. And Dave was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna get the record someday." And I thought, nah, that's as much as I want that. I want to get a game home run first, so I don't think that that's gonna happen. But I can report now that I actually got both. Last night I ended up with 15 balls, including the 11th ball of the night that was hit off of the bat of Gerardo Parra. And it was caught on the fly, and it feels really good to actually be able to like keep the ball, because my only other catch up until that point that I made on the fly was a Kenny Vargas first career home run, so I gave that back.
So can you kind of take me through the whole process of catching the ball?
Yeah.
Before it, were you kind of aware what was going on leading up to the at bat?
Those are good
Kind
questions.
of take us through.
They're really good questions.
They're hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
The kind of questions we ask here.
But it's unfortunate because I'm going to sound like a non-ball hawk here. I wasn't prepared. I did have my glove on just because that was the area that I was at. I was in the plaza area in right field by the flagpole. Pretty much similar situation that I caught Vargas's in. But instead of watching the game, I looked at my phone. I think I had a notification that I was looking at it or something, and wasn't paying attention. And unfortunately, Parra, who's a lefty, hit a shot, and I only found out because people around me said, "Uh-oh, watch out." And then I was like, "Oh, crap." Everyone's kind of silent. And then I look up, catch the ball pretty much at its apex, and have a split second to get over across some people, kind of bumped into some people, but they weren't going for the ball. They were more cowering, and ended up just kind of making a basket catch.
So you're their hero. You saved them.
Yeah, and I was really nice. I didn't charge them, and I didn't demand that they like thank me or anything. But I figured I kept the ball. That's payment enough. Any other questions?
One thing I did notice from the country of Venezuela is going through a lot of turmoil right now, but their MLB Twitter feed was kind enough to supply us with the catch itself, which can be found on Ball Hawk Blab and probably Tony's timeline as well. It looked like someone was offering you another ball. Were they wanting you to throw it back? What was kind of going on there?
Yeah, there's another semi-regular. I don't really know him as much. I don't know that he's part of my game balls. Maybe he is now. But he was pretty much right behind me, and he was going to play it off the bounce.
Hey, what?
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt your story, Tony.
First ever snag on camera.
Yeah.
While doing a live show. Yes.
Yeah. I know another podcast that can't claim that.
Wow.
Catching a t-shirt while podcasting.
Wow.
Or video podcasting.
That might overshadow that takes over this. You are
no, not even close.
So yeah, there was just another guy who was behind me that was kind of playing the ricochet or the bounce. But he came over right away and offered me the ball to throw back on the field. But there was not a security lady, more of a usher, and she was looking at me the entire time. Couldn't tell if it was like the stink eye or anything, so I decided to not throw it on the field because I didn't want to get kicked out. especially since that was my 11th of the day, and I figured I had a shot of doing something special for a target field record. So, I don't know. Would you throw a ball back on the field, even if it's not yours?
No. When I thank you. I just congratulated him for winning the T-shirts by a kid. So, hey, tune in to Ball Hawk Lab on YouTube.
It's live right now.
Yeah. Hey, look, you want to be on a live video podcast? It's inspired by Hall Notes. No? They left. Kids, anybody? All right, no. No, I mean, here in Atlanta, they they don't throw you out, but they kind of come down and talk to you ugly about throwing baseballs back on the field. I did see a story earlier this week about a father in Colorado who caught I can't remember what team it was, but he threw it back. I want to say Giants, but I'm not completely sure if that's
Giants.
right.
Yep, it was the Giants.
And that was his his two stepsons' first game in Colorado. He caught the home run, threw it back, and they immediately kicked him out of the stadium, which, no, I get it. You don't want people throwing things on the field. No, I think it needs to be a case-by-case basis. I think it's kind of a tradition baseball that the home team catching a visiting team's home run traditionally can throw it back onto the field. I know that the whole thing of, oh, what if you hit one of the players in the back of the head? I get that too, but no, take it by case basis. If it's not any coastal player, I'd say I'll get out there, tell them, put throwing things on the field, and just let it go. But if it's they might be trying to throw it towards a player or something that could create an injury, then yeah, they probably do need to go. But would I throw a ball back on the field? No, not at all. Maybe a dummied up little league ball, but maybe
I agree with you. And it's funny because I literally watched that yesterday before I went to the game. I watched that same video. It was like a 2-minute YouTube thing that a local Denver broadcast put out. So it was kind of weird because not only did I watch that, but it was the Rockies who hit the home run. So it felt oddly connected, and with everything else that we discussed and kind of had premonitions of on the podcast, it just felt really like everything was coming together in a really spooky way.
Yeah. So now I kind of give a thumbs down to throwing balls back onto the field. But if you catch one, it's your choice. The thing is that what people don't understand is if you throw a ball back on the field, the ball boy or girl, the person on the line, just gonna pick it up and give it to somebody anyway. So it's not like you're really accomplishing much. So, all right, Tony, we got anything else here to discuss?
I don't think so. I think we're gonna try to just make it a quick one. And
do we have any road tripping discussion to have?
Oh, I suppose we do. I might be taking mine starting tomorrow night, and me and my buddy are going to try to get somewhere past Chicago and then go to the game in Pittsburgh on Friday. So how about you?
I have one in the plans. It's more minor league based. I'm trying to see one major league stadium in there. Still in the planning phases on that, though. But hopefully I can hit the road next Friday and get to a game Friday night. It's within 3 or 4 hours. Or 6 hours, I guess. Right now it's kind of up in the air.
Just like balls.
Just like balls. If your ball's up in the air, though, catch them.
Yeah. You got to snake them.
You do.
Take them right in the mouth.
That's right. Oh, careful. Don't choke on them.
So, Mr. T-shirt winner, shall we sign off?
I think, but before we sign off for the evening and we do our national anthem here, which we could have another national anthem standoff. I think we are the only video baseball podcast that both hosts have home run balls. Is that true?
That's very true.
Both in one season, both in the same month, even.
You got a lot of catching
Just
up
saying.
to do, Cole and Larry. if that's even
Yeah.
really your name.
I know one half of that duo has accomplished the feat.
True.
So, all right. I think that brings us to the end of Baja Black for this week. Next week, it might be kind of a hit or miss show. We'll be on the road. So,
We'll try to do something though.
yeah, we'll always try to sneak a little something in. I think the Braves will be back here as well on an 8-game homestand. So, it might be coming again live from SunTrust Park. Try to find another location. Every time we come to the stadium, always try to do a different locale so you can get a better, different look at the stadium as well. So we got our nice Orlando.
And I was going to say, every week from now on, you're kind of bound to, by contract, to catch something while on camera.
As long as it's not communicable diseases.
I can't promise anything. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We will maybe this. I think this Hall & Oates song is kind of an ode to baseball because it's called "The Sky Is Falling," and I just don't think that they really knew that it was baseballs that were actually falling out of the sky.
Oh, t-shirts.
Oh, no. I'm feeling